Saint Patrick was born into the fading twilight of Roman Britain. Though raised in a Christian home, he admits he was a boy of little faith, until the world he knew was torn apart. At 16, the peace was shattered by Irish raiders. These weren't just pirates, they were opportunists seeking human capital as the Roman Empire's grip on the West began to fail. Patrick was taken in chains to the edge of the known world, Ireland. Patrick served as a slave for 6 years, working as a shepherd on the slopes of Mount Slemish. He lived enduring extreme cold, unpredictable weather, biting hunger, and the crushing weight of isolation. But in this wilderness, the nominal Christian became a mystic. He began to pray, not once or twice, but 100 times a day. Guided by a divine vision that told him a ship waiting to take him home, Patrick fled his masters, trekking 200 miles across treacherous terrain to the coast. He found a vessel, survived a perilous journey, and finally returned to the embrace of his family. But his soul was no longer at rest. In a second vision, a man named Victoricus handed him a letter titled, "The Voice of the Irish." In the dream, he heard the very people who enslaved him crying out, "We appeal to you, holy boy, to come and walk among us." Patrick knew zeal wasn't enough. He needed the sword of the Spirit. He traveled to Gaul, modern-day France, to study at the heart of the burgeoning Western Church. What was the burgeoning Western Church? It refers to the rapid growth and rising influence of Latin Christianity in Western Europe, especially during the early Middle Ages. In St. Patrick's time, he helped spread the church into Ireland in the 5th century, converting pagans to Christianity. His mission was part of the broader expansion of the Roman Catholic Church, which became a dominant religious, cultural, and political force across Europe. The term burgeoning emphasizes this period of flourishing growth, as monasteries, dioceses, and Christian communities took root in newly converted regions like Ireland. At the island monastery of Larins and under the great Saint Germain of Auxerre, Patrick was steeped in the Latin liturgy and the rigors of sacred tradition. Saint Patrick spent many years studying under Saint Germanus, the Bishop of Auxerre, where he was trained in theology and eventually ordained as a priest. His studies in France lasted approximately 12 to 15 years before he was sent to Ireland as a bishop. When he finally returned to Ireland, he didn't come as a victim, but as a conqueror. How did St. Patrick win over the pagans? He used the shamrock to explain the mystery of the Trinity. He superimposed the sun onto the cross to create the Celtic cross, making the faith feel familiar. He transformed pagan wells into baptismal fonts and sacred groves into sites for the Holy Mass. Within one generation, an entire island was converted. For 40 years, Patrick built the infrastructure of a new civilization. He established the See of Armagh. He established over 300 churches and baptized over 100,000 people and ordained thousands of priests. On March 17, 461 AD, he died in the humble village of Saul, the site of his very first church in a barn. Tradition says he lies in Downpatrick alongside St. Bridget and St. Columba. He left behind an island of saints and scholars that would eventually preserve Western civilization during the coming Dark Ages. Patrick remains the model of missionary zeal. He proved that through prayer and uncompromising truth, even the darkest strongholds can be won. Saint Patrick, Apostle of Ireland, pray for us. If you want more deep dives into the lives of the saints, make sure to subscribe. Happy Feast Day, March 17th.